application to be 2025-001. We are live via YouTube in compliance to the Department Order Number 6 Series of 2024, which directs us to stream activities live for this accountability and transparency of procurement processes. Before we proceed, may I request the Secretariat for a roll call and include the acknowledgement of the guest present. For today's our chairperson,
Vice Chairperson, Engineer Leslie D. Gulito. Present. Regular Member, Engineer Jeffrey C. Salmon.
Present.
Provisional Members, Engineer Edwin L. Jacob.
Present.
And Ms. Marguerite Lizana.
Present.
From the Back Secretariat, headed by Engineer Arthur Manuel Aguilar.
Present.
Back Secretariat Member, yours truly, Rosichan Bakay. From the Back PWG, headed by Engineer Jeffrey M. Eliseo. Back PWG Members, Mr. Giancarlo Alima.
Present.
And Ms. Shirley Nandiki.
Present.
And representatives from ECE Marketing, Mr. Vincent Kihe, and Mr. David Rabadon Jr.
Present.
That's all.
Okay, thank you. Since the majority of the back member are present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting in order. We have the present agenda for this activity.
Agenda. First, brief presentation or explanation of the following. Basic contract data, including contract description, ABC and duration. Requirements of bidding documents, including instructions to bidders, bid data sheet, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, schedule of requirements, technical specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. Documents to be submitted by the bidders, technical components of the bid, and financial components of the bid. Criteria and procedure for eligibility check. Primary examination of bids. Detailed evaluation of bids. Post-qualification. Status of ongoing projects and award. Second, questions or comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. Third, other matters. 3-strike policy against violation of Section 69.1, point I of the IRR of RA 9184. Fourth, summary of proceedings, including supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued.
Thank you. Any motion to adopt this agenda?
I move to adopt the present agenda.
I second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Jacob and seconded by Engineer Gulito. And with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is here approved. First in order of the business is the explanation of basic contract data, including contract description, ABC, and duration. This will be presented to us by Ms. Shirley Biching from Administrative Section.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Here is the basic contract data of goods to be procured under ITP number 2025-001. Contract ID 25GLI-0001 with PR number 2024-11-125 dated November 13, 2024. Contract name, supply and delivery of printer consumables for use in the office of the District Engineer, DPWH Davao de Oro, 2nd DEO, Davao de Oro, EPA 2025. Contract location, Davao de Oro. Brief description of goods to be procured. Second transfer roller, A161R71433, Apios C3060 Black, PNM 22K, Apios C3060 Cyan, PNM 15K, Apios C3060 Magenta, PNM 15K, Apios C3060 Yellow, PNM 15K, and 57 other items. Approved budget for the contract, 5,124,629 pesos. Source of funds, EL CY 2025. Delivery date of goods, 20 calendar days. And cost of bid documents, 10,000 pesos. For contract ID 25 GLI 0002 with PR number 2024-11-126 dated November 13, 2024, contract name, supply and delivery of common office supplies for use in the office of the District Engineer, DPWH Davao de Oro, 2nd DEO, Compostela, Davao de Oro, EPA 2025. Contract location, Davao de Oro. Brief description of goods to be procured: ballpoint pen 0.5 mm black, battery AA, battery AAA, binder clip 1.5 inches, 38.1 mm, binder clip 1 1/4 inches, 32 mm, and 131 other items. Approved budget for the contract, 2,769,289.71 cents. Source of funds, ELCY 2025. Delivery date of goods, 20 calendar days, and cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. For contract ID 25 GLI 0003 with PR number 2024-11-127 dated November 13, 2024. Contract name, supply and delivery of fuel, diesel, additives, lubricants, and anti-corrosive for use in the office of the District Engineer, DPWH Davao de Oro, 2nd DEO, Compostela, Davao de Oro, Maharlika Highway S01475 MN, K1377 plus minus 201 to K1417 plus 756 Montevista to Dinas Road S00130 MN, K1413 plus minus 602 to K1432 plus 966 EPA 2025. Contract location, Davao de Oro. Brief description of goods to be procured: fuel, diesel, coolant 500 ml per container, and engine oil 40, fully synthetic, 1 liter per container. Approved budget for the contract, 2,749,500 pesos. Source of funds, ELCY 2025. Delivery date of goods, 20 calendar days, and cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Lichin, for your explanation of the budget to be procured by interested bidders. Next in order of the business is the brief explanation of the requirement of bidding documents, the documents to be submitted by the bidders, and other reminders in the preparation and submission through audio-visual presentation.
To participate and qualify in our procurement activity, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents. 1. Instructions to bidders. 2. Bid data sheet. 3. General conditions of contract. 4. Special conditions of contract. 5. Schedule of requirements. 6. Technical specifications. 7. Bill of quantities. 8. Securities and other forms as may be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially the instructions to bidders and general conditions of the contract, whose special instructions are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and special conditions of the contract, respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the bill of quantities so that your bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites. Interested bidders shall pay the applicable amount for the bidding documents not later than the submission of your bids. The following documents should be included by interested bidders in their bids. 1. Technical component of the bid. A. DTI or SEC registration. B. Mayor's permit. C. Statement of ongoing and similar completed government and private contracts. D. Audited financial statement stamped received by the BIR. E. Income tax return of the preceding year filed and paid through the BIR electronic filing and payment system, EFPS. F. Computation of net financial contracting capacity, NFCC. G. Tax clearance. H. PhilJEPS under Platinum membership. I. Bid security in the prescribed form. J. Technical specifications. K. Production delivery schedule. L. Warranty certificate, if applicable. M. Brochures of the offered equipment, if applicable. N. Omnibus sworn statement, 10 items, in accordance with the GPPB resolutions. O. Secretary's certificate and board resolutions, if applicable. Second financial component of the bid. A. Bid form. B. Duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. Please be reminded that the following documents, omnibus sworn statement, bid form, and bid securing declaration, if you opted to this type of bid security, should be in standard format, as per guidelines of GPPB in their resolution number 16-2020. These documents should be submitted using 2-envelope system. Bidders are urged to only fasten the documents at the topmost portion, instead of hard or soft binding them. Each document should be ear-tagged appropriately. It should be labeled based on the name of the document attached, not the number or letter according to the checklist. There shall be 3 copies of these documents: original, copy 1, and copy 2. Original copies of technical component of the bid shall be sealed on 1 envelope, and original copies of financial component of the bid shall be sealed on another envelope. These envelopes should be labeled as original copy of technical component and original copy of financial component. These labeled envelopes shall then be sealed into 1 envelope and label it as original copy of the bid. The same process of sealing for copies 1 and 2. Lastly, original copy. Copies 1 and 2 of the bid shall be sealed into 1 final envelope and label it appropriately as instructed in the bidding documents. Submit your bids personally here in our office, temporarily located at Back Office, Ground Floor, DPWH, Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. Late bids will not be accepted. Further, on your bid form and bill of quantities, write legibly. Discrepancies between bid prices in words and figures, the words will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing or filling out all the required items in the bidding documents, example in the bill of quantities, the bid is considered non-responsive and is outright disqualified. Always check your documents before submitting the same to our end to avoid disqualification of your firm.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Next in order of the business is the explanation of the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects and award. This will be discussed again through audiovisual presentation.
Criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects, and award. The criteria for eligibility check are set forth in Section 23 of the Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act 9184. All prospective bidders should have an updated Class A legal, technical, and financial documents and Class B documents, if applicable. During the opening of bids, the first envelope, which contains the technical component of the bid, shall be opened. After opening the first envelope, the back shall conduct preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Bidders who pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal, their financial proposal will be opened. All opened financial components of the bid shall also undergo preliminary examination. If passed, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form. The back shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the 1. Completeness of the bid and 2. Arithmetical corrections. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications, to identify the lowest calculated bid. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents pursuant to Section 34 of the Procurement Law. If found to be responsive, the bidder will be declared lowest or single calculated and responsive bid and will be recommended for award of the contract. If found to be non-responsive, the committee will conduct post-qualification to the next lowest calculated bid ranked during bid evaluation stage. The entries of the original copy of the bill of quantities shall be handwritten and be limited to 2 decimal places only, and shall be signed by the duly authorized representative. Please take note that since this is under goods and services, we have no system yet for electronic submission, so the mode of submission of your bids shall be done on manual submission only.
Thank you for the presentation. We are now through with Agenda 1 and its subsection. We will proceed to the Agenda 2, the question, comments from leaders, and replies of the BAC and other representative from procuring entity. Any questions?
Okay na po, ma'am.
Okay, Kara.
None so far, ma'am.
Okay. If there are no more questions, we will proceed to the other matters. 3-strike policy against violation of 69.1.I of the IRR of RA 9184 to be discussed via audiovisual presentation.
3-strike policy against violation of Section 69.1.I of the IRR of RA 9184 in order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing offenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services projects through public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, hereby introduces an updated 3-strike policy. This policy is aimed at enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69.1.I of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits 3 offenses or acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offenses or acts are further classified into 3 major categories. As per DEO 28th Series of 2024, classification of offenses that triggers the 3-strike policy and exceptions. 1. Withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, the Bids and Awards Committee recognizes certain valid reasons for these actions. If the bidder, after reviewing the bidding documents and evaluating the available market options, determines that the required goods or supplies either are not available or that the available alternatives do not meet the specified technical specifications. Additionally, if providing the specified goods or supplies would require the bidder to incur costs exceeding the competitive and financially viable range, or if adherence to the specifications would lead to a bid price that is not economically favorable, the bidder may withdraw. To validate this reason, the bidder should present an affidavit demonstrating that participating in the bid under these conditions would be financially unsustainable. Second, submission of late bids without valid reasons, as determined by the BAC. Exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances, such as force majeure. This refers to unexpected and unavoidable external events that impede or prevent a bidder from timely bid submission, as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. Third, submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether a bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined below. A. During eligibility screening and or shortlisting, submission of an expired certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilJEPS, registration, platinum membership, or a certificate of PhilJEPS certification containing expired Class A legal and financial documents, as determined during the eligibility screening. B. During bid evaluation. 1. Failure to submit required bid forms, as outlined in Annex C, detailing the complete list of required bid forms. Second, submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion and or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms. Third, submission of an unnotarized bid securing declaration, an omnibus sworn statement and joint venture agreement, or statements from all the potential joint venture partners, with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procuring entity or of the bidder. Fourth, submission of the bid form, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. C. During post-qualification, participation in bidding for consulting services or goods and services contracts by a bidder whose business type category, as indicated on the mayor's permit, does not match or unrelated to the contract being bid for, as determined during the post-qualification process. 3. Enforcement and penalties. If a bidder commits any of the 3 major offenses or acts listed above 3 times within a year, starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of Strike 1, first warning, which is counted as Day 1 through Day 365, and if these 3 offenses are of a similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty. Suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declaration's conditions. In more severe instances, when a bidder commits another set of 3 similar offenses, or more than 2 sets of 3 similar offenses, instances where more than 6 similar offenses occur within the said 1-year time frame, the bidder may be subjected to an increased penalty resulting in blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effective duration for the penalty of either 1 or 2 years, as applicable, will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order, with the provision that the duration of blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years, commencing on the date the blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary.
Okay, thank you. We will now proceed to the last agenda. Summary of proceeding including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued. To be presented by Ms. Flordimit Lasaga.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All the needed information were discussed and explained. I would like to remind the prospective bidders to visit from time to time the DPWH and PhilJEPS websites, especially within seven calendar days prior to the deadline of the submission of bids. For supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued thereat, please also be reminded that the
submission of bids is on or before December 12, 2024 at 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be immediately right after the bid submission deadline. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Saga. All of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move to adjourn this conference.
And second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Samon and seconded by Engineer Jacob with no objection. The motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved. This conference is now adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming.